Hi, it's Carly McAvoy. I'm talking about order of operations for sign numbers, simplifying expressions, and solving equations as part of your midterm review. If you can do those problems, simplify those problems, then you don't need to waste your time watching the video. This is a review video, so only watch it if you need it. What we're going to do here is add and subtract. So if you have a minus, that of course is going to be plus. And plus 7 and then minus 18. We have 15 and 3 is 18. And 18 and 7 is 25. Minus 18 is 7. When you're working with addition and subtraction, you just work left to right. Here's one that gets people, it's a little tricky. I'm going to start left to right because all I have is multiplication and division. Negative 6 times negative 4 is 24, but then what people want to do is jump over there and multiply 3 times negative 2. But you don't do that because you go whatever comes first left to right with multiplication and division. So the next thing I want to do is 24 divided by 3, which is 8, times negative 2, which is negative 16. If you have something like this, you want to do the top and the bottom separately. This one is a subtraction, so we're going to do the multiplication on either side. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12, and then negative 10 times negative 4 is positive 40, and then we have 3 minus 1 to the third power is still 1. Negative 12 plus 40 would be 28, and this is 2. So 28 divided by 2 is 14. All right, in this number 4, you're going to do what's inside the parentheses first, and then you're going to do the exponent. So I'm going to write the 2, just leave it there. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Now the exponents, negative 3 times negative 3 is going to be positive 9. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is going to be negative 8. 2 times 9 is 18. Negative 4 times negative 8 is positive 32. And if I add those together, I get 50. Here I'm going to do the exponent and then subtract inside the parentheses. See these brackets? It means I'm going to do all that, and then I'm going to divide by 22 at the end. 2 to the third power is 8. And then 8 minus 5 is 3. And then 2 times 3 is 6, so 5 plus 6 is 11. And 11 divided by 22, most of the time it's going to tell you to give your answer as a fraction. That looks like 11 over 22, or 1/2. This is this expression because these are all expressions, but this one has a variable in it. So I'm going to distribute the negative through the variable. Negative times 5n, and negative times negative is positive 5. Negative 3 and negative 5 is negative 8n. Remember that when you add like terms or subtract like terms, you get a like answer. In other words, if I have n to the first power, I still have n to the first power after I add those together. I don't get n squared or anything like that. And so my final answer is going to be this, because these are no longer like terms. This has an n, this doesn't. I can't add those together. Okay, solve the equation. Again, if you feel like you can solve these 4 equations, then you don't need to watch the video. If you think you might have trouble with it, then this is a chance to review. I'm going to solve this one with one step. That is, subtract 12 from both sides. And then 12 minus 12 is gone, just giving the x. 20 minus 12 is 8. Here I'm going to do this in 2 steps. First, I'm going to move the x's together by adding 3x on both sides, minus 3x plus 3x. So I get negative 9 plus 4x equals negative 4. Now I'm going to add 9 to both sides because I want to get the x's on one side and the numbers on the other. That gives me 4x equals 5. And finally, I want to get rid of this coefficient. I want the coefficient always to be 1, and 4 over 4 is 1. That gives me x is 5/4. Don't be in a hurry to change that into a decimal or a mixed number. Typically what we like is the improper fraction form. This one we're going to simplify by distributing on both of these parentheses to get rid of them. So -3 times x is -3x. -3 times 4 is +12. -1 times x is -x. And -1 times -1 is +1. Remember, when I have something that's got just a negative out front like I did here, it really says -1. Even though we just see a negative, there's like a little understood 1 there. So -3x and -x is -4x, and 12 plus 1 is 13. Now what I need to do is get that x by itself, so I'm going to subtract 13 from both sides. -13 and +5 is -8, and then I want to get that coefficient to be +1. So I divide both sides by the coefficient, which was -4. -4 over -4 is just 1x, and -8 divided by -4 is +2. So x equals 2. And of course, you can always substitute your answer back in to check these equations. Since this is a review, I'm not going to do that. But if you go back to the original equations where I teach the videos where I teach these equations, you'll see me checking those. And finally, I'm going to solve something with a fraction. And you can do this more than one way. But the way that I do it is to find the common denominator of all the denominators that you see, which is 10. And then I'm going to multiply every term in the equation by 10. Well, here 5 goes into 10 twice, so I get 2 times -3, or -6y. Here the 10's just cancel, and I get +7. And here 5 goes into 10 twice, and 4 times 2 is 8. Then I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides, and finally divide by that coefficient of 6, and y is 1/6. All right, have a fantastic day.